police department. So,
It's my favorite kids then.
yeah. Wyatt or,
Both and
you know,
yeah, I'm their adopted.
yeah, he's got something for the council tonight, but he has a meeting himself. He has to host at 7. So we're gonna get him. We're just gonna go over that.
Both and. I'm their adopted.
That's not, no, she's at the council tonight, but he has a meeting himself. He has to host at 7. So we're gonna get him.
That,
I think so, yes.
okay. That would be cool.
But yeah, we'll get them through first. That way they can be on their way.
There's a cute, one cute boy and one ugly boy.
Not saying which is which, right?
No. You guys already know that. I said your father is some of my favorite kids, yeah. I'll read some.
Yes,
I miss picking them.
yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
You're not that good one.
We're doing Indianapolis for the
Nice. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, been there probably over 4 years now.
I said it wrong.
That is,
Yeah.
oh, it's a lot. How are you doing? Let's see, kids and Mitch's little thing.
Busy,
Yeah,
really, really.
I was gonna say, did you see this online? I think,
I did not do the pipeline stuff.
I actually did it.
I went to the dinners for several years, but I just got so busy at work.
No, it's too hard, isn't it?
A lot doing my stuff all down Covington teaching my fire, so.
Oh, you do it. Oh,
Yeah, that's one that's doing what we want to do.
it's anyway,
Pipeline inclusion.
really?
Even all,
So what did they end up doing?
ended up calling somebody for the pipeline, yeah, well, close.
Was there gas coming through?
There was some product, I'm not sure.
I think that was, I think it's, no, I think it was like their media material between products or whatever.
Oh, my lucky man. Jeez, that's scary.
We're gonna get you guys first in the agenda tonight. That way you can be on your way. Yeah. Is it time yet?
Sound like a bird.
Did. Never seen some. Yeah, there's.
It's a different thing. When I tell you about the one, you can once me get rid of.
Dorothy's waiting on. So she has to. Is this what?
She made it.
There she is.
She's actually 4 months early. She thought it was right. She wouldn't get on till like 5:45.
You have to go incognito because the
Oh, yeah, we have to-
bandwidth is so low.
I think,
How do I do that?
Can't hear you.
You have
I think
to
with the
unmute
TV,
But it's gonna reflect you
I
guys.
think
She,
we,
only if she talks. Hey,
The bandwidth is really low, so I'm not going to use the camera.
that's,
Need the PC.
this is it.
Well, she said her internet connection's not good,
okay.
so she may throw it in and out.
Okay.
She's better than me, you know.
Because we're not muted on the meeting, correct? Yeah, we don't want to be muted, but we also want to reduce audio feedback, so.
The other thing she can do that is use the chat bar. If she can't talk, she can use it.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
We-
The TV might
time?
be unmuted.
This time,
Might-
okay. It's 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. First up, roll call. We don't have Matt yet. I don't know if we'll get him or not tonight, but roll call though, we do have Mary Jo, we have Aaron, and we have myself. So we do have a quorum present. Steve's on vacation, so we will not have him. We'll see if we get Matt. Before we do anything else, let's get the Tiffin Township Fire Department up. They have something for us tonight.
Yeah, so, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Cody Roby, I'm the fire chief there at the fire department, this is Ron Lehman, he's the deputy chief. We were very fortunate to receive a grant, from SIA to buy all new AEDs for the fire department. They're the same AEDs as you see here, just a little bit newer, so. With that, we had 3 surplus AEDs that we were gonna have in, storage for spare, units. We decided it'd probably be better fit to put in, responders that can make it to incidents. So we decided to donate those to Battle Ground PD so they can have AED in each of their squad cars rather than them sitting on a shelf for us. So they're good, solid units. We just wanted to give them to those guys. So when they get there, they've got some more tools in the toolbox. We really appreciate it. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks so much, sir. And I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it.
Is that all you guys had for us?
That's all.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
Thank
So-
you guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
This is right.
a good time to ask for stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, I got all kinds of things. You'll have a good one. Thanks, guys.
Okay, moving right along, we will go ahead and approve the minutes. We actually have minutes from February 9th meeting. And then we have another public session on later in February, the February 19th. So we need to approve minutes from both of those meetings.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes for February 9th, actually 2 of them, and then February 19th, 2026.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, we are ready for Mr. Burns.
All right, good evening, everyone. We've got a UMH continues to move forward with conversations, I'll call it, and meeting back and forth. At the last meeting we had with UMH, they requested that they be given an idea of what it would look like if they were going to have the method of increased rates or a monthly fee or an annual fee, however you want to look at paying over time as opposed to cash up front, and a combination of those things. And so what you have before you, which is just a deliberative document, it's not a final document, so it's not a public document. It is a schedule, and I will let Robert get into it because he's here online with us. But my belief is that this is an attempt for us to show UMH all cards that exist. Not that we've been hiding cards, but you got to do analysis like Robert has done in order to show them this card. This card is if you want to be able to look at what it would cost you over time, this is what your contribution to the overall 3 phases would look like. And you can see the breakdown. I'll let Robert talk more about that.
Can everybody hear me okay?
Oops. There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Good.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so you guys all have the document in front of you, and I really try to just kind of lay it out in simplest format that I can that I could come up with without going into too much detail. So I'll just kind of walk through what each of the columns are, and I think the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I'm not going to go through every single number, but so what you kind of see is here kind of in these first columns, it says upfront cash. So the idea here is I kind of just laid out different values of cash that could be put upfront by UMH to help fund the project. The idea is it's kind of a decreasing sensitivity test by $1 million. So the idea on line number 1, that the idea is there's a financing that creates a $1 million project fund. Scenario 2, $2 million project fund, and so forth, all the way down to line 6, which is just $640,000 cash. That's the phase one commitment that they've already made. So you know you're going to receive that. So that's why I left the $640,000 cash up front there. Then the second little section here where it says proposed financing, I just did kind of a really short summary of what it would look like. So you have the project fund. So that's the amount that's going to be borrowed to go towards the project. The second column, that's the cost of issuance. And the third column is just pretty much what the par amount of the bonds would be. And please remember, these are just high level estimates. If any of these scenarios happen, these numbers would probably fluctuate, but I'm really just trying to create the idea of what that would look like. So that kind of just comes out to the different financing levels. It starts at 1.125 million and it goes up by $1 million for each scenario. So again, we're just trying to kind of show that sensitivity analysis that can show what that commitment to pay the debt service would be. Then the next kind of 3 sections, I broke out 3 different terms: a 10-year term, 15-year term, 20-year term. And then I use estimated rates of 3.58%. You'll see that right on the top next to the 10-year, 4.14 and 4.88. Those are just estimated rates. I pulled that from what's called the Indiana Bond Bank Community Resource Funding Program. That would be an option for who could buy the bonds. This credit's really interesting because UMH is really going to be the sole payer of this, and there's a lot of intricals there. But again, I'm just trying to create a summary or an idea. So I thought that was just a good baseline to start with. Then under each heading or each term, there's 2 separate types or 2 separate items. First is annual debt service and coverage. What that is, that represents the maximum annual debt service that would be required to pay any one of those debt services. Plus I increased it by 25%. And the reason I did that is because your current bond covenants do require you to have a 1.25 debt service coverage to issue new bonds. So if we didn't include that in this number, your other ratepayers would have to bear that burden. So I built that into what their monthly debt service charge would be. So that first column is the annual column. That second column would be a monthly charge. So if you want to add that to their monthly bill, I simply took that annual number and divided it by 12. And I did that for each of the 3 scenarios.
The only other thing you might get into would be the requirements for putting this out to market. If they were going to be paying over time under any of these, and what that would take as far as letter of credit or a guarantee from the corporation.
So my recommendation would be asking the corporation that for a guarantee that would guarantee payment of these bonds. So meaning if for whatever reason there was a catastrophe or something happens on their property and they cannot pay their bill, that there's a guarantee that they're going to make a payment or that's going to come from them. Because the issue is you really don't want this to fall back again on the other ratepayers. The idea here is you're trying to shift this burden to them, and you don't want to take on if there is a lack of payment or if there is some kind of issue, you don't want your ratepayers to take that on, because that could end up being a huge rate increase that your ratepayers could see. You see that all the time in like an economic development project. You don't see it so much in a sewer project, but it's kind of the same principle. You go out and sell bonds, and then the developer just puts a guarantee of payment behind the bonds, and that's really the sole repayment is their guarantee or the sole pledge.
And just to make sure that I understand, if you take the very first line 1, and go all the way across to monthly debt service charge, $9,307.08. What that means is that the financing that we're talking about would cost them that much each month.
Correct. That's absolutely 100% correct.
On top of their current rates.
Yes, that is just to pay for this project.
Just to be on top of that. And so from the standpoint of what else would be needed, as he was saying, in order for the banks to say, okay, that sounds good to us, we would need some kind of a backup, so that the bankers who are loaning the money aren't seeing that the only option is to go to the ratepayers and get an increase, which is important for a whole bunch of reasons.
And a lot of times the way that works, if the developer is giving you the backup, they have a bank they work with traditionally, who's comfortable with their credit, and a lot of times they pick that bank because you can go to them because they're familiar with them and they're more willing to kind of do this kind of deal. If you didn't want to do this in sewer revenues, another option is we could just do an economic development bond. And what that ends up being, it's a very similar structure that we just talked about, but it's a bond that the town will issue to that with that bank, like we talked about, technically buys it, and the line of credit is the guarantee from the developer, and there's just a payment stream that the town will receive from the developer to pay the debt service on the bond. That's kind of an idea, Eric. Sorry, I didn't mean to take that out of nowhere. I came up with that about an hour ago, but that would be another option. At the end of the day, it's basically the same thing as this. It just gets it out of your sewer rates, which I think wouldn't be a bad option either. I mean, to UMH, at the end of the day, they're still making a $9,300 payment, right? It doesn't matter if it's technically a sewer bill or if it's just a monthly loan payment, but that would be another option of a way to do it too.
And what's the ultimate backup for the town?
It would be the guarantee. It would be the guarantee from the developer that they're going to make their loan payments.
So not a whole lot of difference, but it's just not sewer rate related.
Yeah, it's just a different mechanism you could use.
Okay. Yeah, I've never heard that. It certainly makes sense. So
It was really popular. I've never done a deal like this, but I talked to Bob Swenson's a member of our firm who's been doing this for 40 some years. And he said it was really popular years ago, but other items or other ways have kind of pushed their way in. So people don't do that as much, but it's would be an option for a deal like this. Because I think the biggest goal is to try to keep the burden away from the town. That to me is the biggest goal here.
And so my suggestion is, if you have any questions, Robert's certainly there to answer them. But my suggestion is that this gets sent to UMH. And this will be an answer to their question of what other options are there. And they specifically ask, are there other ways that this could be structured? This is the answer to that. This is how it could be structured. And as you see, Robert has put it through, oh, you want to pay some cash up front? Okay, well, here's how much your payment would be a month. Like any other kind of loan that you take out, you pay more down, you pay less a month. And it's a similar thing here. It is not at all that they have been told that you would even consider doing this, quite frankly. But I think in the interest of answering all the questions, because the folks we're dealing with, my sense, and Dave, maybe you or Chris would have a comment on it. My sense is that our folks are the operations people, and they're going to have to explain all of this to their corporate board, and they want all questions answered. It's a little frustrating, quite frankly, because it's been this dragged out thing. About the time we give them 100% answer on what they want, if you could also do this, it's like, okay, here we go. So I believe that we've now covered the A to Z possibilities, one being all cash up front, and the other one being this kind of pay over time. So my suggestion would be that you just authorize us, doesn't take a vote, but a consensus, to toss this to them, say that there are disadvantages to this for them, because they have to get a letter of credit, which is a cost to them. But give it to them and see what their response is.
I have one question. How does this affect Georgia and office? Is there a big, like accounting type of thing?
I don't know. Is George available to answer that? I don't know that it would be much.
It shouldn't be? Okay,
Don't think.
we're gonna let Mr. say.
Yeah.
So
Say you want.
Yeah.
I would say,
Yeah,
are you talking about the extra charge that would go to? It really would just be an adjustment you would need to make in your billing system, because it would be pretty much a straight charge every month that should just update into your billing system that would go under the monthly bill. If we did the economic development bond instead of through the sewer, it would just be, however frequencies decide, just another invoice that would go to them every month. And again, that number wouldn't really change. So I think it would just be absorbed into our monthly duties. I don't think it would be that big of a change. I say that questioning because I'm not Georgia, so I don't know all of her processes, but that would be my assumption. She may curse me for that.
I don't think you have any questions on that part?
No.
And I think, Ms. Burns, we also have the Jewett Street abandoned, or
Yep.
are we done talking about this? I'm sorry, Robert,
Any other?
is there anything else?
We reached back out to America after our last conversation and they asked for kind of and we will get with Georgia on this, but just an actual invoice from the town, sort of.
Right.
A letter on town letterhead, here's the total. And we're compiling the backup information that would go with that invoice for costs incurred so far on phase one. We'll really be done with phase one, right?
Yeah.
So it's essentially a final bill and
Okay.
we're under 640.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Great.
Okay.
So I think as long as you're comfortable, we'll send this off to them and
Mhm.
encourage them to make a decision.
Okay.
I
Yeah, I like, yeah, I think it's time to try to move this forward.
Yep, we'll do. Anything else then on that?
I don't think from us, no, unless you guys have anything else on that. At this
Yeah.
time, no? Oh, I'm
At
sorry.
some point, at some point, I'd like to know about the risk that the town takes if we're billing UMH for a bond payment. That's a situation I really didn't want to be in because I don't have a backup. If they don't make the payment, I don't have the money for it.
So Georgia, the idea behind that to offset that would be that they would have to put a guarantee behind their payment on the bond, meaning the overall pledge to make the debt service will come from the developer. So whatever financial institution borrows the funding, they're borrowing it based on the financials of UMH. If they don't make a payment, they're the ones at the end of the day who are going to be held accountable, not the town.
Okay, so I heard you say that just billing them monthly, and that's been my thing all along, that I don't want to be in the position of having to make a payment without funds coming in from someplace. I wanted them to pay the bond, the financing institution directly, that's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if they're asking the town to borrow the money, again, they're just asking what this option looks like. The town would have to make the payment. There's no mechanism around that.
Yeah. So do they provide an escrow of one payment ahead? Because timing
set
is
up-
everything.
Yeah, we could set it up like that. We could set up a reserve as required, like before we move forward, we could say the town wants 1 year of payments set into an escrow or a trust to be there in case there's a missed payment. Like those are details that can all be worked out. Yes.
Okay, good. That's good. That's what we want.
Yep.
So we are same spot, which is they're looking at 5% of that because they're paying 100% of the first two phases. So the numbers, I don't think they pushed back at all on the numbers. They accepted the utilization that they have.
They understand the timing, the rationale behind it. They've not pushed back on that at all because at the end of the day, all three phases, their total is the same no matter how we finance it or fund it. So they understood that.
Yeah, that was my sense too. So we will present that, and I think we'll present it with the attitude that we don't view this as a good option.
Right.
But here it is.
Okay.
And let it go from there.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, we've got Jewett Street. We are in a position, I think it's at the 20th or 22nd of this month to get a default judgment, which is going to be in the neighborhood of $100,000, something like that. Final numbers are not calculated till we get to the date on that house. So as you recall, this is the method that was chosen to go forward, file the lawsuit. That's been done, get service on them by publication through the newspaper, which has now been done. And you then have to wait 30 days in order to file what's known as a default judgment, which says, Judge, this is what they owe. They've not defended this, and we'd like a judgment. And the judge orders that, signs an order that says that they owe whatever that number is in the 100,000 range. That becomes a lien on that piece of real estate. And then we have the right to get an order of sale. Basically, it's a sheriff sale, tax sale. They're all sort of similar kind of things. And that's assuming that we don't have anybody come forward as far as owners, and we have had zero contact. I have a feeling the owner is somewhere out of the country, not able to, do anything on this.
Mhm.
So what that would mean is it then just goes up for sale, and we, I think, have to be in a position to talk to whoever may be bidding. We'd send somebody, to go to the actual sheriff's sale. If somebody's interested, say, hey, we've got a judgment for 100,000. If you're willing to do X, Y, and Z on this property, we'll knock that off. Or knock it down, make it go away. Because it's money to you, sorta, but quite frankly, it's not gonna sell for 100,000, so it really isn't money. It is the ability to be at the table to try and influence the next buyer to do what you think is the appropriate thing. So you might be thinking about that. What is, you want it rebuilt, you want it put into use. Is there anything else you want? Sort of think about it. You would have some influence, not complete influence, but with 100,000 lien on it, you've got financially a good chunk. People are looking for houses. We know that the houses are in short supply, so there will be a developer who's interested, I'm sure. And then we just have to tell them what it is that we expect to be done. They can put an agreement together, and the lien gets waived after, they've accomplished it. So you might be thinking about that. And the other 504 still waiting to.
last
hear
we looked, there
what
was
we might
no-
Want to do, so
There's
not
no
sure
official
what we're gonna
movement,
do on that one.
sold.
That's a weird one, so.
Yeah, okay,
And that's all I got.
perfect. Anything else for Mr. Burns while he's here? Are we gonna send him on as well?
I'm out of here.
All
See
right.
you, folks. Have a
Thank
good
you.
meeting.
They'll leave me all by myself.
Oh, I know.
Have a good evening.
Okay.
See you.
So moving on to contract services, we already heard from the London Woody Group. I believe he's in the process of the rate review and getting that going for us. In terms of all of our utility projects we have going on. Is there anybody here from Bowen Construction?
No, but we'll get the update.
Okay, and
Usually we'll just plan to give the construction progress update for them.
then we'll just move on to BFS.
Yeah. So I'll start with Gateway. Phase 1 construction is substantially complete. We have a walkthrough scheduled for Wednesday morning to take a look at what's out there, see if there are any punch list items to finalize and address on that. We know there will be a couple electrical things. There are some parts that are on order that are like a 7-month lead time. So that'll be an item that gets addressed later. We'll be stepping through and checking out that site, checking operations, see if Ron or Jansen have any items that need to get addressed before that work is done. I know last time we talked about some site cleanup items.
They came and did it.
They came and did that. Yeah.
Perfect.
So we'll see if there's anything else on Wednesday, but that's looking to be in a pretty good spot. Earlier conversation was about UMH wanting to see invoices for that first phase work. Bowen has submitted their pay application for that work. That's been reviewed by us and sent back to the town for any questions or comment. Happy to step through that with Georgia if she's got questions, or if anybody from the council does, once you've had a chance to see that and look at that. That's usually something that'll be on your claims.
So does that happen? They give us the money and then we give it to Bowen, or how does that go?
So I'm not quite sure how UMH is envisioning it, but our impression was that the town would take the invoices that you've received. So you received an invoice for the pumps from Gorman Rupp. You've now received a pay application invoice from Bowen, and then you received invoices for us for phase 1 work. The town would then provide that documentation with a letter that says, UMH, here's the bill for the phase 1 work. Here's the total. It is less than 640, so they ought to be happy with that. And then it's my impression that they would then cut a check or release funds to the town for that. And the last meeting we had with them, they sounded pretty receptive to at least doing cash up front for phase 1. Is that how you're seeing?
Yeah.
Dave, it's the subsequent phases that are
It's still up in the air.
Right, it's a big dollar. So
Sure.
So that's, phase one work is in a good spot. Phase two and three, design components are continuing on. We've released our sub-consultants, Geotech Electrical, for their design parts, and we're waiting to hear back from them. Survey has been completed, so we're getting all that data processed for us to finish up drawings. We've had good meetings with Bowen to kind of step through from a design side of things to see if they had thoughts on installation methods or constructability, and that's been a pretty positive interaction with them so far. So design is progressing and seems to be in a pretty good spot, and we're still working to make sure that we've identified potential bottlenecks, and we're working through those as we encounter them. So pretty soon we'll be releasing subsurface utility investigation groups to start digging and finding utilities that we see a line on the paper, but we need to get eyes on in real life. So our utility coordination group is still getting work plans back from private utility owners, and that'll get incorporated then for us to then tell them where to go find things. So that process can be pretty tedious. You're waiting for a lot of different groups to try to get you information back. You probably saw stuff up on 600. That is not us. That's not for this project, but there are utilities who are looking for other things along there as well. So hopefully they're tuned up and see, oh yeah, I need to get that response back to BFS. Any questions on Gateway?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I think our next project meeting is 7th of April.
Yes.
Join you guys online.
We'll get you this in person one.
I'll do it, from a cornfield. How's that?
Other projects we've got going on, I did get, since Matt's not here, I did get an email from him this morning with a brief update on Hawks Nest. They should be remobilizing in April to finish setting the last structure, plumb all the piping between the lift station and the valve vault, and then connect the gravity sewer up to the existing Hawks Nest main feed. They'll be testing the force main, and then really the big portion of work is the electrical work. So we've received some submittals from his electrician, but I think they're waiting to get all their equipment in-house to be able to install. And then final site work and cleanup kind of rolls us into another site work related item, the Shawnee Ridge detention pond. We've got a meeting with that, some of our guests here tonight, tomorrow afternoon, to look at that and then make sure that all parties are kind of stacking hands on expectations and what that pond is doing and what improvements can or should be done to that to get it in satisfactory condition to the affected groups. Hopefully the weather cooperates with us tomorrow. And on the one hand, if it is raining, you get to see it in action and you get to see it.
Okay, sounds great. Anything else?
That's all I have on horse.
Okay, I think we are ready for Georgia on the clerk treasurer side of things. She's still with us? Oh, there she is.
I have Ashley help with, and I don't have the documents here, so she's gonna have to help us with anything that you ask questions on the claims. And she's got the document for you to sign after your motion.
Perfect. Okay, so we do have appropriations claims. We'll need a motion to approve those. Are there any questions on that at this point? Before we move forward?
So I'd like to make a motion to accept the claims for February 10th to March 9th, 2026 at the amount of $153,303.58.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'm sorry, all those opposed? No, hearing none, okay. We're going to get.
Also, I need to have the council move to approve Ashley to be signature authority for Fountain Trust Bank and for the president who has the executive function, but I'd like the president to have representation authority for Trust Indiana.
Trust Indiana.
For internal controls, there needs to be one person on the council that can act and the deputy clerk to act.
Both those in one.
What's Trust Indiana?
Oh,
It's a it's an investment, but it's money market type investment. We can move the money back and forth with
Okay.
24 hours notice.
so can I do it in the same motion? Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to have Ashley, what's your last name?
Harriet.
Ashley Garrett have signature authority at Fountain Trust Bank for the town of Battleground. And I would like to have the president, Chad Lohmeyer, have access and signature authority with Trust Indiana. Did I get it all?
I think so. Maybe we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I will second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, I think,
There's a second part of that. Chad, what was the other part of that motion on your?
for the, not Fountain Trust, I'm sorry, I'm just drawing a blank right now, Georgia.
Did you not get the?
No, I have it.
Oh, okay.
The cloud software work session? Is that what you're talking about, or the?
Yeah, go ahead with that. The
Okay.
other had to do with our bank accounts, but
Oh, the cumulative development fund
uh,
or additional
no, I
appropriation?
think yeah, Bill will probably talk about that.
Is this the one with the requesting additional funds?
Yeah, just
I got it, okay.
So
I'm
yeah,
at
I
a
would-
disadvantage right now.
Yeah, additional appropriations and cumulative development fund. and-
Oh, I'm sorry, it came back to me. Ashley needs to have a bond. I would like for you to move to approve paying for a bond in the amount of $15,000 for the deputy clerk. We haven't, she's been working under my bond, but if she's gonna have signature authority, she needs her own bond.
You want 30,000, Georgia?
It's 30 for the clerk and 15 for the deputy.
Unless your head over $1 million.
But you can have it, that's the minimum. You can have it for whatever amount you want.
Okay,
So we need it for 15 or 30, I'm sorry,
30.
30? Okay, so we'll need a motion for,
I need to make a motion to have Ashley Garrett have a bond for her for $30,000.
motion, do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. And then, Georgia, are we ready for the cloud software work session?
Yes.
Okay,
I was able to talk to a couple people today about a competitor to BSNA, which was the very expensive one that I sent you, and they said that they're a larger unit and their cost for cloud software was about half of what BSNA was quoting them. So I'll find out Friday. And if there was a time next week that anybody wanted to listen to what I've learned, why we could get together. But that's totally up to you.
Yeah, I think it'd be important to get one of the books, because I think your initial quote from BSNA was currently like $33,000 to upgrade to the cloud version of that software, which from my standpoint is pretty outrageous.
I was outrageous.
So.
What's the software for?
It's our accounting software for the town.
Accounting
Yeah.
software?
Currently, we have a local client install version of that's on our PCs. We're gonna move to a cloud version of that that's backed up offsite.
Yeah.
But they're,
Well, for some reason, Georgia took her laptop, I could not work.
right, because it's licensed per machine, it's not licensed to a user or anything like that. So it creates severe workflow difficulties if one person's not here, that kind of thing. But to upgrade that to the cloud version, charging additional $30,000 is pretty ridiculous, in my opinion. So we'd be looking to find a better solution possibly. So anyways, is there a day next week that would work with everybody if we wanted to meet? Because Georgia says just after 3/18 is her. Or is next week the week after next, Georgia? I'm sorry.
The 23rd through the 27th? Is that what we're talking about?
It looks like it, yeah.
I'm actually open.
I'm pretty open as well that week. Yeah, I have area plans on the 18th, so it's not that week.
Yeah, Thursday, the 19th on, I just wanted a chance to talk with the Conservancy at their meeting on the 18th.
Okay. What about Monday the 23rd? Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
At least everybody that's here right now. Yeah, okay. Let's tentatively schedule Monday the 23rd for 6, and we'll firm that up with Steve and Matt if they'll make it as well. For a work session there. And then Georgia, you have the position posting, just more of an information thing for
Yes, correct.
okay, just a billing clerk, because
Right.
we have one that's leaving here soon, and then we just got to post it to rehire somebody else or hire somebody else.
Correct.
Okay. Anything additional with that I'm missing?
No, not with that one.
Okay. And then you say that Bill has something with the cumulative development fund that he was gonna talk about, or are we good there?
Well, the CCD fund is a capital improvement fund used for all kinds of things, buying a police vehicle, et cetera. Last year in the legislature, they changed how that rate functions. It's a fixed rate, except that we've been decreasing it. And it starts out at 5 cents, and now we're down at 4.2. If we reinstate it, which requires a legal notice and one meeting, we can set it back at 5 cents, and it would increase your revenue in the CCD fund by $8,290 each year.
Okay. So you said we have to basically announce it at one meeting, and then the following
We have
meeting.
to have a legal notice.
A legal
I wrote
notice.
the legal notice, and it's being processed.
Okay.
It'll be at your next meeting,
Okay.
and you'll just start the meeting as the public hearing on the CCD fund, and then vote and move on.
To me, I guess it sounds like a no-brainer if we're able to generate that revenue or that money in that way. Like, I think we should definitely go for that and keep that going, or get that going again. So
The other item to advertise is the additional appropriations, now that we know what we might be in for with phase 3 of the gateway, and having the revenues available in case we need to use them prior to the bond being finalized. So I gave you all in my email a listing of the additional appropriations that we can make that would essentially empty all the funds, but it would make them all available for short-term loan. And that has to be advertised.
okay,
And so that would be an April or a May event, but letting you know and having your approval at this meeting as we start that process.
okay. Yeah, I think we need to get that process going then too, so we can get on it and keep moving. So do we need to make a motion for that, Georgia? No, okay. we're just gonna agree to advertise it then?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Jordan, do you have anything else at this point?
Not that I am recalling, no.
Okay. Well, if something comes up, please let us know. And thank you again for being flexible to join virtually.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, moving on, we'll go to police department with
Yeah, just some
Marshall.
updates. So we had since last month, 107 calls for service. There was a mix of OWI, and a high level felony arrest warrant, drug cases, fraud cases, juvenile problems, medical emergencies, community policing, alarm responses, a found child, assisting CPS, child protective services, vehicle theft, 4 crashes, 4 suspicious incidents. So, and then a bunch of traffic stops, so usual stuff for us. I also wanted to thank Erin Munn, our new board member, for coming out and doing a ride along with us, and we put her to work handing out teddy bears at a community policing event to kindergartners, which was a fun event for us to get to do that. I don't think she was ready to be told to help us hoist bags, but she did it better than us. So that was fun, and then she came out and rode with us to kind of see how things work. So I appreciated that. I don't know if Erin was traumatized by the experience, not by the calls, but just us.
No, no. The call slightly, you know.
Slightly, but us not. Okay. And then I also wanted to thank Battleground Fire for recognizing the police department's ongoing needs for equipment, and those are been something we've been wanting to be able to purchase for quite some time, and so it's very nice of them to use grant funds and think of us. That was very, very much appreciated as well. So I think that, let me see what else I've got here. Update on some other actions. So we're in the process of revising our SOPs to make them more modernized. That's a living document and needs updated and changed frequently. And then with 107 Railroad, we're still trying to find a contractor that will give us a bid. Apparently, being a contractor is a good business to be in. They're always busy. So I know we've got a few more leads on that, and so we hope to have one bite eventually, so we can get an understanding of an estimate. So, Chief, you got anything else? Okay. Question? Yeah.
I have one question. Shawnee Ridge. I appreciate you guys driving through there. There's a big camper on Musket Way that's been there since Friday. And I don't know if it's actually on the sidewalk or whatever, but it is just, I gotta put you and see it. You can't
Yeah.
miss it.
Take a look, Musket Way.
Yes,
Okay.
as you come to.
We probably looked at it if it's on Musket Way, because it's a pretty
You
visible.
get this
So there's
sunset.
it depends on where it's parked or how it's parked.
It's when you come to the stop sign at Huntlock,
Mhm.
if you look to the left, you're gonna see it.
Yeah.
It's right there. But the problem is, we would normally handle this ourselves. Mr. Ribbling it. Pretty sure that's where it's at.
Is
He doesn't like us.
Yeah,
there's you.
we'll take a look. There's some specifics with the ordinance, just depending on what type of vehicle is it a trailer, is it not?
It isn't, I think it's a RV that you sit and drive.
Drives under its own power.
Motorhome.
Motorhome, okay, all right, we have a little more leeway if it's a trailer, but we'll make sure we take a look and see. So,
Thank you. I appreciate
it
it.
must have been pretty recently that it's been out.
Friday,
Friday,
I think
okay.
was the first day I saw it.
Yeah.
A few days now.
Yeah, and then just so crowd's aware, like sometimes on our first or second pass, people will park things for whatever reason temporarily while they're either loading, cleaning. But it helps if we've got residents that have driven past it a number of times, they can let us know timely.
And I can understand if it was just the weekend, but we're in the money, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Meeting it was filled.
Yeah, usually when it starts to go from a weekend into the week, that's a good sign that maybe that's more of a.
Yeah,
longer
they're
term
allowed to
problem.
park them for 48 hours. We don't mind that, but it's been over the 48, so.
Yeah,
And like I said, normally we would.
yeah, we'll see if the ordinance will cover some of those parking and stuff. Yeah,
Thank you.
And I'm not positive it's him, but I think it's worth it.
yeah, it'll have a license plate, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
And thanks for letting us know, that's all these things work.
Anything else? For the group, okay, moving on to Ron.
All right, the first thing I have is, the concrete estimates on high school. I didn't catch it last month.
Yeah, no, it's fine, we didn't either.
So, Dixon came in at $60,488.
And that's for both in front of 102 Main and then also the high school street project, is that,
No,
oh, no, okay,
this is high school.
oh, just high school, okay,
And Poor Boys came in at $43,601.50.
okay, okay.
Separate from that included.
So we need to readdress that motion. Because we obviously made a motion last time on the incorrect numbers, so we'll just need to readdress that. I guess I'm assuming the council's interest right now is to approve the lower bid at this point. To get that done, so we'll just need a motion to approve the Poor Boys bid.
I will make a motion to approve the updated estimate for the high school sidewalk project from Poor Boys Concrete for 43,601.50.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye, motion carries. Alrighty.
All right, also. So Main Street. We didn't lump these in because I believe when Jim was president. we kept-
Okay. They were kind of being treated as separate items.
Right.
I just wanted to clarify that this estimate wasn't for both, it was for one.
So, Main Street, so that's gonna be E Street to. The duplex. $8,400.
Okay,
And this has all been approved, but I wanna jog you guys' memory.
right,
again.
because it was last fall when we did all this.
Right,
Uh,
Where is it at again?
Going for
right across the street.
on Main Street, East Street, going all the way to. Yeah, there's that little alley kind of thing that's right there off
Yeah,
Main.
yeah. Okay.
It's pretty easy to miss, but yeah,
Yeah.
right there, East Street going towards the telephone company or CenturyLink,
Right,
whatever it is.
The.
Yeah.
The duplex, so what, half, 3/4 of a block?
Yeah, not quite a full block, yeah.
Also with Poor Boys, we have the cracks on North Street.
Mhm.
They're gonna be grinding them out and then filling them back in. For $1,000.
And we've already approved all of these
We've
items,
already
correct?
approved that,
Okay,
just,
we just need
it's been a
to
while, so.
refresher at this point.
Bring it back up.
Okay.
So everybody's on the same page.
Perfect.
The next item I have is Steve Holland and myself went to build a foul. To get a price on a truck, the 2026 Chevy. Basically, the same identical truck as. Except for newer that we have now. Our main truck. And it's a chassis cab.
Okay.
I chose a chassis cab because, just like the other truck. I prefer aluminum bed on them. Aluminum doesn't rust. So, and dealing with salt. So, the chassis, Chevy. 3,500 heavy duty. Is $53,060. And there was something that. And I don't know that Georgia and I either one understand it. There's a state bid thing
UPA. Quality purchase agreement with the state.
that can save us like $1,500 or something, the guy said.
It's like state contractor pricing,
Yeah.
Right,
so.
right. They said, the guy at Build a Foul said we had it and then we had let it lapse. I've been trying to call a few people, George has been trying to call. And I haven't gotten anywhere.
My experience was we do state QPAs with like Dell and things like that for, in my side of things. They're just renewed yearly and you can opt into them. They don't lapse, but the vehicles might be different. I'm not sure. But right now Dell holds a state QPA
But
for,
in 2018,
Town
we had
governments.
it current with the other Chevy that we
Okay.
bought.
yeah, I would have to look at that. I don't know about vehicles per se. I just know that we have state contract pricing with Dell when it comes to PCs.
Right,
across the state for any government entity. You can buy from them and get discounted prices through the QPA.
So I went ahead and called Clark, that's where we get the aluminum bed. Their price is $8,948. That's an 8-foot all aluminum bed.
George is raising hand.
No,
Yeah.
I'll wait till Ron gets done. I just had a comment.
Okay,
So on the truck, that's what I've gotten.
okay. Are you looking for a motion on that for purchase? Is that where we're at right now, or are we still gathering information at this point?
Well, okay, so I told Chad at the beginning, before the meeting. We have a bad habit of holding trucks. So Steve and I decided that, well, we offer up the 2011. It roughly has, I think, 60-ish thousand miles on it. It is rusty. And I'm not gonna say it's showroom ready. But
Shouldn't be.
I brought it in to build a file and they offered $2,500 for it. Which is absolutely, in my opinion, a joke. I mean,
Do we think we could do better on a private sale? I don't know how a private sale works though, since
Did
we're
you blue
government
book
entity.
it?
huh?
Did you blue book it?
I did not.
I don't know what our options are with a private sale. Since we are government, we can't. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we can't just.
I
go out-
believe you can take bids. We can advertise it and you can take sealed bids.
So, well, yeah, what I don't want to do is post on Facebook Marketplace, because I'm not sure that's actually legal. For a government entity to do
It's a
so.
bad idea.
But yeah, so, that's what we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So are you still gathering info on this, or are you just kind of
Yeah, let's.
making us
let's
generally
go
aware
on.
of this process?
Do you want us to make a motion so the money is there in case you want to take a step to it?
Yeah, we could.
So it was 53 and
60 and 89.
What about the QPA? Is that what it
the
was?
state QPA.
Okay, what I wanted to tell you about the QPA is that we used to have what they called One Indiana, and all I can find now is Spinbridge, which that's where we go to put in our salt contract.
Oh,
But for every entity, my understanding is that you have to pay $6,000 a year to have the ability to, it's like the state Sam's Club, you get a
Membership.
discount on the things that you're buying. Spinbridge helps you locate what you want, and you get a discount from the vendors who participate, who get state contracts. But I haven't found anybody in the fleet program. I haven't found anybody in the state's administrative offices or BMV that knows anything about a fleet account number, which is the FAN that Bill DeFow said we needed that lapsed. The fleet account number comes in when you register a vehicle and you don't pay the registration fee to the state, you don't pay the taxes to the state. But other than that, I don't know why they think our fleet account number lapsed and why they would give a discount on that. So that's why I'm trying to get more information from DeFow. Exactly what do they think we let lapse, and why can't they just give us the discount because we're clearly a municipal entity?
right.
Right. Right.
But not, the department heads did not think that $6,000 a year was advantageous for the town.
For a little.
And the people at Spinbridge couldn't tell me what kind of discount we would get on a vehicle, but their provider person for Chevys is not even in Tippecanoe County. So I don't know how far you'd have to go to get a discounted vehicle from their program.
Okay. Right, I'm not in for paying a $6,000 up front to possibly purchase a vehicle a year.
Yeah.
It's just adding $6,000 onto a vehicle at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm unsure how how vehicle purchasing works with the QPA and everything. I don't know that side of it. I just don't. Yes.
My comment would be the QPA would not permit a custom. What he wants to put a different bin on.
Okay. You have to buy as is.
Right.
Right.
So it's not gonna help you. If the custom. Bed is necessary, then just go to the vendor and get one quote from somebody else. And you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Under the 75,000.
NDOT had a supplier and I gave that name to Ron and we could call the person at NDOT in Crawfordsville and the person in NDOT at the state level. And they had a name of a company that provides the pickup type vehicles for them, but we would have to call them and talk to them specifically.
Okay. So until we figure out, get the QPA stuff sorted, do we want to hold off on assigning a dollar amount to this? Until we can understand what we're looking at there?
So.
Is that the best?
I think I can have it.
Okay. All right, let's work towards that, see if we can't find an answer, and then we'll go from there. Yes.
I'm gonna make a suggestion. Don't use Kelly Blue Book. Use the NADA. It's way better and that's got all of the car automobile, that's what they're using. You can do it by then and then it'll ask you questions like, is there damage? You need to tell it about the rest and then it will give you a better idea of how much it's actually worth.
And we'll do like a private sale trade-in
Yeah.
and or,
I mean, even when you go back to Chevy, you can say, hey, I looked it up on NADA. You're lowballing me, you know? Cause the last 2 times I've done vehicles, I've used it and it's way better.
Yep.
My husband's in the business, and he knows that too.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you.
yep, that's a good decision, thank you.
So
Anything else?
the last thing I have, somewhat concerning. Main lift station pump number 1 is down.
Okay.
We are
And this one's located where, I'm sorry,
right here.
just right here, okay.
We are, what, 5 months from our 5-year warranty expiring.
Okay,
We helped the maintenance guy. We totally gutted the pump. He sent that off. It'll be gone for 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay.
And I told him that as soon as it gets back, I wanna go ahead and do the other one.
Okay.
My concern is Hawks Nest. It's sat down certified for 2.5 years. And I don't know that I can run it hard enough to have any flaws show up
okay,
in that short period. Little heads up. I mean, they're gonna cover this whole repair on main lift station. I'm sure it's multiple thousands of dollars.
sure.
But just kind of,
Does it basically get rebuilt? Does that extend our warranty at all, or is that just? Yeah, just it is what it is. Back.
after the 5 years, September, it'll run until September.
When's the warranty?
September.
September, the warranty up and it's not installed.
Oh,
No, this is for the main lift
this is
station.
for
Okay.
the main lift station.
That's like in 2 years, isn't it?
It's a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay,
Yeah, we're unfortunately shooting the warranty quite a bit at this point.
right.
So, yeah. Okay. Jansen, anything for the group? I know you gave us your summary right here. Do you want to summarize it for the benefit of everybody else?
Learning a lot about the impellers and everything for the stations and getting right on that. Everything else is just trying to get me more into the idea of what I need an idea for, like transitioning over to
Mhm.
becoming an operator. So
Okay.
like something like that in the future.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that we can do to help you in the meantime get that going? To grease any kind of wheels?
We might have to.
Okay.
I'm gonna try as good, best as I can.
That's fine. If you want the council to get involved, just let us know.
We probably,
Yeah.
just to give you a heads up, you probably won't end up happening here.
Okay.
Yep.
Alrighty.
We're working with our contract operator right now to hopefully train me in things that I need to get trained on.
Mhm.
Because it is a very important role.
Right.
And other than that, working on it, and I almost got all my RTI hours through the state, so I'm almost done with school. So I have all my credentials, everything
Mhm.
right in. I'm pretty much be
Excellent.
by July.
We just want to make sure that you have what you need to do your job. So, yeah. Well, we appreciate it, all your hard work. So. So moving on to area plan, I'm sorry, is there anything else from either of you guys for utility stuff? No? Okay, so moving on to area plan and redevelopment. Bill, did you have anything for the RDC?
No.
No, okay. We do have an ordinance from area plans February meeting that we have to make a decision, have a vote on. This is kind of a long one, so I actually made myself notes so I can explain it to the council in as simple as terms as I can, because there's a lot. So it's a multifaceted deal. It pertained to West Lafayette is who brought it to the attention of area plan, but it's going countywide as far as this ordinance goes. But the first part of this is multifamily building height measurement, which be primarily apartment buildings. They're changing the way that's measured. So the current rule is that height is measured from the ground floor to the finished floor of the uppermost story. So go ahead and try to make sense of that, right? So yeah, what they want to propose the change to be is they want to measure height from the ground level to the highest finished point or the peak of the roof. When we're actually measuring height, we're not going to measure to the bottom floor of the highest finished floor. And so the proposed maximum height right now, as far as this goes, would be 40 feet. So anybody like any apartment complex that wants to build higher than 40 feet can request a variance against this. But that what county would allow by default is 40 feet.
Is this because of all these high rises that are coming up?
I don't think it's for the high rises per se. It might be. I believe all those request variances, they all come through usually the Board of Zoning or UZO board. All those
Fire probably because of.
it is primarily for fire stuff. Yeah, the reason for the change is reflects modern fire safety standards is the reason for this change. So and 40 feet also reflects the typical variance request for recent developments that they've approved. So that's the reason for it. And then it would apply only in R3, R4, and RW zones in the county. So I don't know that we have a ton of that around Battleground. That part wouldn't impact us too much. But if we ever, I'm sorry, also applies to NB-U zoning districts, the new neighborhood business zoning districts, which would allow residential units above commercial spaces. So if they were to ever do like apartments and then have like micro retail on the bottom floor of those apartments, it would apply to that. So if we were in our economic development area, got something like that, it would apply for that.
Okay.
So and then the other part of this ordinance applies to accessory dwelling units or units ADU, which would be like an additional structure on your property that someone could live in, like an in-law suite, things like that.
Tiny house, yeah.
Right, so on your property. So the current size limit for an ADU in Tippecanoe County is 750 square feet. The proposed change is to increase that to 1,200 square feet on properties. And then the limit applies to living space only, not garages. So like finished living spaces, not a garage. And then ADUs cannot be used for transient guest houses, but the primary house can still be used for short-term rentals. So if someone had an Airbnb on their property, it would be allowed for that. But it can't be, the ADU cannot be a transient property. So it cannot be an Airbnb or a VRBO on there with a primary residence also there.
Got it.
But the primary residence can be that. So like I said, clear as mud. And then so yeah, the intent is to ensure that ADUs are used for long-term living rather than short-term week to week, month to month rentals. On people's properties. And so. Let's see. And definition of long term would be a month or longer. So anything shorter than a month would not qualify for long term. And then they also would allow for additional driveway cuts for ADUs. So if they own an additional drive off the property to reach that unit, they would allow for that as well. The county would. So we would need a motion, a second, to either approve or deny this, depending on how we feel we want this to be used in Battleground. We can also talk about it too.
Yeah,
I know it's a lot. There's,
it just doesn't seem like, I don't even think we have anything that's 40 foot tall, really.
not currently, no. I mean, the economic development area, we are at this point unsure of what will go there, so it would future-proof us. And we could always revisit this down the road. Yeah,
Yeah,
just for like reference, it passed APC or Area Plan Commission unanimously.
Well,
We
and
approved
with
it.
him being an RDC and trying to do the.
Right. Yeah, we just don't know what's gonna come in, but it would help us be there. If we ever decided something was coming in, we could also revisit this at a later date too.
Okay,
Yeah. So,
that's cool, but they want us to say yea or nay.
right, we have to approve or deny this ordinance, to adopt it into Battlegrounds, ordinances.
and where has it already been adopted?
West Lafayette's the one that submitted this approval, and I'm not sure if they've had their meeting yet since we've had area plan to adopt it or not. But I know it's going to all the town and city councils this month
They
for
would have had it
adoption.
Monday.
They did Monday.
They would have had it on there just on Monday, and just the only part of this that's gonna ever apply in Battleground is the part about accessory dwelling units.
Right.
The height zones are only in West Lafayette
Okay.
and University Proximate
Okay.
areas. The W stands for West Lafayette on the R.
Okay, there you go.
R.
See, I
You
missed
won't
that.
have any of those zones even if you have them R3 zone.
Okay.
It's gonna-
Okay, so it would just be to those.
The ADU part.
The height part of this does apply in.
Okay.
Just the ADU.
Alright, then I'm fine then.
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to make a motion to accept ordinance number 2026 dash
One.
6, or go ahead.
No, yeah, it's 2026-659. I'm sorry, you're on the right track.
Yeah, you're okay, I just, okay.
Thanks. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. And then we will have to pass this around and sign this official copy. Okay, moving on with our agenda. Committee report, we already did the high school street sidewalk project and the Main Street sidewalk stuff. We got that taken care of, so we're good there. Georgia sent me something on social media stuff this week. I have not reviewed any of that yet, so we'll defer that to next month. I don't think anything for strategic planning or citizen advisory at this time. Old business, the 250th banner selection. I think we need to make a choice tonight. Georgia got quotes and everything. We just need to make a choice on what banners we wish to choose.
Should we wait for
Or
the other
do
members?
we want to wait for everybody?
Okay.
No, okay.
Alright,
Because what'll happen is we'll wait and wait, and then it'll be 251 instead of 250. And we won't be able to put them up, so.
Okay. So at our last session, we had narrowed it down to these 5 were the ones that we were gonna look at, and I believe this is what you got quotes for.
These are nice.
And so I think we need to decide, I think we have. None of those are the 250 though, right? We're doing 6 250, right? And then,
Yeah, she had the 250, I think, already picked out.
okay, and then
Is
we
that
had,
right, Georgia? We already picked one for 250.
I do not recall that. I
I
was
don't think we
just
did.
getting the quotes for the
Okay.
custom ones.
I
Because
think
the
that one-
250 wouldn't be custom, I don't think.
That's okay. I think these would be fine, because I don't think we need 250 if they have the red, white, and blue design on.
Okay. So, are we gonna go with multiple designs, or are we comfortable with just doing one design?
I voted.
What's that?
I voted.
Tell me what you voted for.
My first choice is 5.
Number 5,
Is 5 the one on the end?
stars.
Yeah.
okay,
And my first, second
Anybody
choice,
else? You're more than welcome to pitch in.
you guys can
What's
look
your
at it
second
too.
choice, Ron?
my second choice is number 1.
I mean, I think we liked all of these because they were somewhat simple designs and things like that, so we were,
And the print would be big enough, everybody could see what it was
Right.
saying.
but it sounds like 5 is kind of a winner right now. People agree upon,
The one in the middle is a lot more easy to read
right, the white against
because
red.
the white letters is on the red. Where on the 5th one,
It does kind of.
welcome to, I mean,
Kind of long.
it does kind of, the one in the middle seems a little bit more bold and easy to read. That's my.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
I like the one in the middle,
You like the one in the middle?
because I can read it in 2 seconds, I
Right.
can read it.
Right, you know what it's trying to say,
Everyone else, other ones, I have to kind of figure it out. Just wreck my car. was it?
right. Bit more work for the police. Sorry. So number 3. I really, I don't think there's a loser in the
I
category,
don't either.
in the bunch, I mean,
Can we do it this way? Can we buy some of number 3 and then some of number 5 and then go every other
Every other?
one when we put them up?
Oh, other where you want me to.
Yeah. you-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that idea because number 3 and number 5 are very similar to where the letters are, where the logo is.
If that's okay, you guys like that idea? This is the one time you get to pitch in. So.
Yeah.
Let's do 3 and 5.
yeah, I agree with that. You said the whole town's got to look at them, so. I know
Yeah.
it's something like,
I like, and thank you, that was a good comment, because you're right, you can read that better.
all right, I think that is settled then. I am actually working on the architect information piece. I have stuff I'm gathering out in the back end for Georgia, for Maddie. And then so new business, and we don't have to make any decisions tonight. It was more just to bring it up for everybody to think about that is here. So we were for sure gonna be missing Steve tonight.
Yeah,
But we are missing Matt as well. Since we have Erin here and she's new, I don't believe you're a member of a committee yet.
I believe you're correct.
Yeah.
she was hoping I didn't notice.
So what we want to do is we want to either renew our commitments to committees, revise who's on certain
Mhm.
committees, potentially create committees that we don't currently have for the town. I know Mary Jo and I have been, I don't even know if it has an official name, but you and I have been working with BFNS and with like the ongoing sewer projects and things like that, or the lift stations and stuff. I figured we could rebrand that committee to like utilities committee. So I know we're also working on meeting with the Water Conservancy to discuss some items with them as well. And so if we rename that to utilities committee, Mary Jo can head that up. I know we have an HR committee that I believe right now Steve and Mary Jo sit on.
And I was thinking, God, Erin would be perfect for that.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that.
I would be.
Okay.
And then I don't believe we have an ordinance committee currently, or at least no active member sitting on one. So it might be something we want to think about. And again, we can wait until Steve and Matt are here to further discuss and fill that out. But think about if you want to be a member of like an ordinance committee, try to potentially refresh or new ordinances the town could use and things like that.
Yeah.
Are there any other committee, like any other things that we need to?
I guess we can ponder on it. And then.
Yeah, and Georgia, do you have any other suggestions for that as well?
What committees are there now, for sure? You mentioned that sewer,
There is an HR committee,
definitely an HR committee.
yes, and we work real closely with Georgia on like insurance and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
And so, with your background, I think you'd be
Yeah.
really good at that. So,
yeah, I would like to.
and I would really honestly sacrifice my role on it. So-
How kind of you.
Yes, thank you.
So, okay. Well, again, there's nothing that we have to make any decisions on tonight necessarily, but just something to think about, and we can discuss further at a later date too. So,
Think about it, Eric.
like I said, we don't have all of our council here. So, the other item we have in new business is this stormwater appeal. I read through it today, and BF&S does have some info on this as well, but it appears that initially this lot was 2 parcels and now it's a single parcel. Would you care to elaborate on that a little bit for us?
That's what I believe has happened. Sometime the parcel, the same owner owns 2 separate parcels. They, I think, through the recorder's office, combined them under the same key number. So the initial assessment was an undeveloped parcel, which was measured, and then half an ERU is applied per acre to that. Technically, it's supposed to round up from 0.5 and up go to, so there's only equal ERUs or even number of ERUs, which is an equivalent residential unit, which is the basis for calculating the stormwater bill. There's 3 categories. There's non-developed, residential, and non-residential. Residential, the middle one there is all one, regardless of how big it is or whatever it's on. It's a single family home type of definition. It is non-developed is vacant land or agriculture. And that actually is measured by the size of the parcel. So this particular lot is not developed, and it was under an acre, but it was measured at a half per ordinance, and so it was rounded up to 1. And then the other lot is a residential by definition, so it's 1. So that's the background as far as why this parcel was had 2 ERUs to that property.
So yes, the homeowner is seeking a refund for going back to 2018 for overpayment on the stormwater utility to the tune of $898 over the course of that time. I know there was some confusion because not confusion, but there was some concern because it does go back beyond the 7 years, which I believe there's a Georgia, can you help me clear that up? I'm sorry.
No, if there's a billing, you can't go back more than 7 years to correct a billing that you're attacking somebody for money. But I don't know that that really applies to a refund.
Okay.
But I found today in class, they gave us the code for it, but I think that I would think it would be your decision as a utility if you feel like refunding those years. I don't know that the statute even addresses refunds. It's just that you can't go back and bill somebody for an error made longer than that.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
So thoughts?
So you can't go back and maybe I don't understand that you can't go back past 8 years as a city and request money from someone or as a member of the
Right,
community?
a utility, there's something about 7 years, you can't collect bills that are due, like collections stop. You can't correct a bill if you were saying that you incorrectly billed them and you wanted more money. You can't go backwards in time. That's a bad idea. But we can see exactly what the overcharge was. So I think that's up to the utility board.
Okay. So what are our thoughts? Do we want to? I guess how do we feel about refunding this money? I guess
I'm okay with it.
you're okay with it?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, if he went through the right channels to get that down as 1 lot instead of 2,
We'll have
correct?
to check the recorder's office for that and get the date that happened.
Okay.
From what we saw, there was 2 parcels, but now it's appearing as 1 key number, so
Mm.
it's always been that way and we measured it wrong, or it was changed at some point.
So if you can check that for us, and then I would say, if it is truly this many years, we should just refund it.
Yeah, I can verify that both of the pieces have the same parcel number. And I thought that I gave you all the property record card, but we printed the property record card and it goes back. There's a line on it that says that the parcels were combined for 2017 pay 18. So for the purposes of assessment in 2018, they were 1 parcel.
Okay. So I would say we should refund it.
Okay. Do we want to Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that too, if that's how we feel.
Do you need a
With that.
I
motion?
mean, yeah, as
Jeff?
long as it's deemed an error.
Yeah, we'll just do a motion to make that official.
I would like to make a motion to, on this stormwater appeal, to refund the money of $899.
Motion, do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, that carries. We are now on to the public comments portion of our meeting. Anybody here in the gallery have anything they'd like to bring to the council? No, we did such a good job.
Or
I just have one
tired.
question.
Sure,
That gas line that's going through Shawnee Ridge, the new one.
Okay.
And then they cut out to the west side of it. They cut them trees out.
mhm.
Is that an easement? Or is that, I mean, I just went on and walked my dog down about getting shot at or something. Is that somebody's property?
I am unsure.
Behind the homes?
I'm sure it's somebody's property.
I mean,
Right.
are you talking about behind the homes?
It's not behind, it's going straight west, or east, I'm sorry. It's going straight east.
The transmission line?
Is that what it,
Chet Eastman is still private property.
okay. Marshall Morris indicates that an easement is still private property. It just means the utility has access to that area should they need to service the utility.
Nothing's stopping you from asking the person though.
Right.
Say you wanna walk it off.
It's a big area, I would be to ask, cause it goes, looks like it goes clear to. Top of that hill.
Sure.
Before you get to there.
There is, are you talking about on the north side of the park? The easement that goes back, or are you talking? I'm trying to figure out where you're at, because
There's yellow-
there is a gentleman that, if you head east, he will come out with his gun and tell you to get off his property. You.
Okay.
Which were you talking?
Where are we at?
So this is Shawnee is the park, and this is the newer cut over by
Yeah.
Stella's house.
Yeah,
So this is the cul-de-sac.
Talking to me.
Yeah, yeah.
that's enough. I mean,
So it's gonna be
That's-
one
That
east,
picture doesn't show.
East Muncie where the new. It looks like water line, like water stuff maybe.
Yeah, there's yellow posts every 50 yards or something.
That's the force main.
That's the force main.
Yeah, that's an easement, that's still private property.
So private.
Back in here.
I believe so. It's not shown at the best.
It's right across from,
Right, it goes, there's a line, it goes straight east from here.
Where you're talking about? That is, no, it's not.
yeah,
I mean, look at all the leaves on the fence.
Yeah. So that's not where, but I will show you what I'm talking about. No, it doesn't look like the park really in there either. So my house. There you go. So if you walk out this way, the gentleman who owns on the other side of the creek there,
Right.
don't walk over there.
Okay.
You guys get that?
so it's not, it is private property, okay, sure.
I
Just
would-
not sure who owns it at this point,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And I don't, yeah.
Okay.
But typically, if it's a utility easement, they purchase it from somebody, so whoever owns that utility is who actually owns that easement sometimes.
Not
Because
that-
it's private property.
It's
private
still
property.
property.
It just gives the utility owner access
Yeah,
and
so
rights to be able to maintain and operate that utility. It doesn't give a private citizen access
Access
to
to
that.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can certainly ask the owner if we can determine who that is. But in terms of the town, we don't have a say in that.
There's a website called Beacon.
Property. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Anything else? In the group?
I'd like to make a motion
Mhm.
to adjourn.
I'll second.
And we are adjourned. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
The 22nd.
Property card.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe they just put a spreadsheet of utilities paid all the time.
Glad I got through without it.
No, I-
Signatures on.
I was already sharing the screen and I get a text from Jordan that says, share.
It's-
I will